particle moves so that at time t its acceleration is a is 4 cos 2t I plus 9 sine 3t j meters per second squared. The particle starts at a position 3I plus 4j meters and has initial velocity I minus 3j meters per second. Find expressions for the velocity and displacement at time t and exact expressions for the velocity and displacement when t is pi by 2 seconds. Now, as with example 1, I'm going to write this using column vectors rather than ij. So my acceleration is going to be 4 cos 2t and 9 sine 3t. So let's look at going to velocity. And to go to velocity from acceleration, we need to integrate. Cos will integrate to sine, and remember to use the chain rule. So that would give me 4 sine 2t, and we need to divide by t here. We're using reverse chain. Remember, when we differentiate, the 2 would come out and multiply. So here it's going to come out and divide. So that's going to be 2 sine 2t plus some constant. Now, sine would integrate to negative cos. So using the reverse chain again, I'm going to get negative 3 cos 3t, and I'm going to call the constant here c2. But we know that the initial velocity is this. So in other words, 1 negative 3 is going to be, now if t is 0, sine of 0 is 0, so that's going to be c1, and the cosine of 0 is 1, so this will be negative 3 plus c2, and that tells me that c1 is 1 and c2 is 0. And so my velocity is going to be 2 sine 2t plus 1 and negative 3 cos 3t. And that, of course, would be in meters per second. Now, to get displacement, of course, we're going to integrate again. So my sine would integrate to negative cos. Don't forget to divide by 2, so I'm going to get negative cos 2t. The 1 would integrate to t, and we'll get another constant. The negative cos would integrate to negative sine. Using the reverse chain, that's going to give me negative sine 3t plus another constant. We know the initial position. So we've got 3, 4 equals. Now when t is 0, cosine is 1, so that's going to be negative 1, of course, t is 0, plus c3. And the sine of 0 is 0, so this is just going to be c4, giving me that c3 is 4, and c4 is also 4. So my displacement is going to be negative cos 2t plus t plus 4 and negative sine 3t plus 4. So we now want these when t is pi by 2. So v of pi by 2. Well, this will end up being sine pi. 2 times pi by 2 is pi. Sine of pi is 0. So that's just going to be 1. And 3 times pi by 2 is 3 pi by 2. Cos of 3 pi by 2 is 0. So that's just going to be 1, 0. Now, what about s at pi by 2? Well, cos of pi is negative 1. So I've got negative 1, so that's going to be 1 plus t is pi by 2 plus 4. And sine of 3 pi by 2 is negative 1 times this negative is going to be 1 plus 4. So we're going to get 5 plus pi by 2, 5 meters.